بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. Today, inshallah, we're going to continue the ayat of Surat Al-Muzzammil from ayah 11 to ayah 14. We remember that last time we spoke about the ayat and the Surat Al-Muzzammil, which is a Meccan surah that revealed before the Hijrah, and it was from the very early surah's revelation came after the starting of the prophethood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling his prophet in this the beginning of this surah to make the night prayer and stand for praying during night. And we mentioned, and this was the beginning of the salah, that it was during night and for the prophet and for the new Muslims at that time entered Islam. And this kept for about 1 year, and then will be as we go inshallah to have in the next lesson, it will be abrogated by making this type of prayer is voluntary for the believers, but actually it stayed obligatory after that for the prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling his prophet in the previous ayat we took that to stand for these night prayers, either half of the night or less than this, less than the half, little or more than, and start to recite the Quran, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling that that it will be a great job for the Prophet ﷺ during the daytime. He will have to make da'wah, he will have to make many activities for this deen and for this religion. And the thing that will help him to keep on facing the rejection of the disbeliever, keep on facing the opposition, keep on facing the mocking and the laughing and the accusation, false accusation about the Prophet ﷺ, who will make him stand and withstand all this and bear all these things. The night prayers and the Quran recitation will help him to stand against all these difficulties. And actually, when we are reading this surah, we must reflect that on us. It's not only for the Prophet, it's also for us as believers, that the things that will help us to face the stresses that we can find every day and in every yani part of our life, the thing that will help us to stand and to face all these stresses is by prayer, especially the night prayers and the reading Quran, dua, and asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the help, all this. And in ayah 10, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling his prophet to be patient of what they are saying, the disbelievers, and wahjurhum hajran jamila, and avoid them. And as we said, those ayat, it was before the migration from Mecca to Al-Madinah. It was during the stay of the Muslims in Mecca. We know that Muslims were in Mecca 13 years before they migrated to Al-Madinah. During these 13 years, there was no attacks, there is no direct confrontation, direct battles between the Muslims and the disbelievers. The battles started when they migrated to Al-Madinah. And the first Ghazwa, or the first battle, was Badr. It was in the second Hijri year. Before that, there was all the ayat coming to the Prophet to tell the Muslims that they must keep patient, and this is not the time to start fighting those disbelievers. So all the time, 13 years in Mecca was patience, patience, patience. and the Prophet ﷺ is teaching the Sahaba, teaching the companion by the pillars of Islam, pillars of Iman, and keep giving them these teachings in order to be solid in their heart. Because after that, when they're going to have the battles, and even after the death of the Prophet, they're going to have the conquest of the whole world at that time, the Roman Empire and the Persian Empire. Um, they will not face all these things except by the strong aqidah or the strong creed. And this strong creed that Prophet ﷺ raised them with during these 13 years. And that's very important for us to learn that if you want the Muslims to be strong, you have to start from your home. You start from yourself to make this deen is and make this teaching strong in your heart, and then strong in the heart of your family, and then for your relatives, and then the whole community, and then the whole Muslims. If we start with ourselves and this propagation of the strong belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger and His teaching in Quran and Sunnah, then we'll have a strong Muslim. And when we have a strong Muslim, we have a strong army. And when we have a strong army, we'll resume back our Islamic empire that was present for more than 400 years. Now we'll come to Ayah 11. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling his prophet, after telling him to be patient with that or with those disbelievers that all the time attacking him, وَذَرْنِي. ذَرْنِي means leave me alone. ذَرْنِي means leave me alone. وَالْمُكَذِّبِينَ أُولِي النَّعْمَةِ. To deal, leave me alone to deal with the deniers, those who are having the possession of good things of life. And ni'mah actually is one word but has a lot of meanings. A ni'mah, that when you are speaking about a person who has a ni'mah, so maybe he is healthy, he is wealthy, have children, have supporters, have authority, have, so a ni'mah is a lot of favor in that Allah gives his servants. So it's just one word, but actually a lot of meanings in this word. So here you can feel here a tone of threatening, that Allah is give a threat to those disbeliever by telling his prophet, leave me to deal with the rich rejectors who own great wealth. So when you say to someone, leave me alone with him, that's, yani, for example, and of course, to Allah al-Mathal A'la, to Allah subhanahu is the best example, that if your son or daughter comes to you and telling you someone who told me or spoke to me in a bad, give bad words, spoke to me in a bad manner, and she's crying, and you start to be very angry about that. So you will tell her, leave me with her. I will just teach her what she say or what she will not say. So leave me alone with her is like, I will yani take leave me to deal with this threat or with those disbelievers. So it is a type of warning to them that Allah will punish them. Allah will take them into the hellfire as in order to revenge for his prophet and for the Muslims. So dharni, leave me alone. Of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most able, most powerful, and he's away from any limitations. But here, the expression, the Arabic expression usually used here for to threat someone or to warn someone that you will deal with him. Just leave it to me, as we can say it in the local language. Just leave it to me and I'll take care of him. So this is ذرني. وذرني والمكذبين أولي النعمة ومهلهم. مهلهم means that leave them for a little while, or give them respite for a little, or give them a time, a little time, or a little while. And this is actually, this meanings came in many surahs in the Quran, that Allah is saying about those disbelievers in another surah, نمتعهم قليلا ثم نضطرهم إلى عذاب غليظ. Uh, Here we let them enjoy for a little, then in the end we shall oblige them to enter a great torment. So here this is the respite or the waiting time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give those disbelievers. Usually the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not coming immediately. Allah from His mercy, even with the disbelievers, give them a waiting time before the punishment starts in this life and in the hereafter. For that they may return back, they may repent, they may know that they were wrong. And also, one of the things that Allah mentioned in the Quran about this waiting period, that it is one of the plot that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, they are plotting against Muslim and Allah. إنهم يكيدون كيدا وأكيد كيدا. Allah has His plan and those has their plan. The plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that they gave, that he gives them a lot of children, a lot of wealth, a lot of authority, and leave them for a while in order that they increase in their tyranny, or increase in their transgression, or increase in their wrongdoing to others. This is another thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them, and then will take them suddenly to punish them. As came in the hadith, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَيُمْهِلْ لِلظَّالِمِ حَتَّى إِذَا أَخَذَهُ لَمْ يُفْلِتُ. Allah is giving a while waiting or respite for the transgressor, then when He will seize him, He will never let him away from Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is وَمَهِّلْهُمْ قَلِيلًا. Give them يعني a little time. إِنَّ لَدَيْنَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling His Prophet here, you will find that the ayat will go to the day of judgment, starting from ayat 12. إِنَّ لَدَيْنَا. Verily with us, أنكالا. أنكالا are the shekels. أنكالا are shekels. وجحيم, and burning fire. So here in Ibn Abbas is saying that Ibn Abbas saying that Jahima also is a blazing fire. Jahima is the blazing fire. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, again, this is another threat and another warning for those disbelievers that they are not believing, that tell them, Ya Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that we have shekels and we have blazing fire. What else? What else in the hellfire? وَطَعَامًا, food. What type of food? ذَا غُصَّةٍ. ذَا غُصَّةٍ, which means that the food that chokes when you sometimes eat something which is, you are not يعني chew it يعني in a good way, or chew it good. When you swallow, it will start to stop in your esophagus. You will not able to swallow it properly. And this is very painful, actually, very painful sensation, that suddenly you choked and you feel that you can't breathe, and sometimes can't breathe. And people of choking, they have suffered a very difficult moment, especially if the choking stayed for a long time, and they may lead to their death. So it's a very painful sensation. And we know, of course, that in the hellfire there is no death. So you can imagine that this difficult sensation will stay for them every time they need to take the food. And what type of food? The food will be, as in other surahs, mentioning that the food is from the plants full of spikes and poisonous. These are the food of the people of Jahannam, people of the Nar, billah, that they will have the food very spiky and hard even to eat. And when they try to eat it, they make their lips injured and their mouth injured, and it's something very difficult. So choke here is another type of painful sensation that those disbelievers will have when they try to eat the food, which is already, the food is a bad thing for them. and full of poison and spikes and bad odor and everything about that. وعذابا أليما. طعاما ذا غصة, food that chokes, and Ibn Abbas is saying about that it will get stuck in the throat and it will not enter or come out. وعذابا أليما means painful punishment. So you can imagine here that the punishment of the people of the hellfire, a multiple punishment is happening to them. We mentioned before that will be psychological punishment by humiliation, by they will hear bad words, they will be insulted by the angels of the hellfire, and this is from their feelings. So we have painful in their feelings, and also physically on their body they will have the painful on their skin. Every time the skin burned, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revived it again to feel the painful burning sensation of the blazed fire. And when they want to eat, now we can see that they were shocked in the food of the nar. And also when they want to drink, they will drink a very hot boiled water. And sometimes, as we talked before, they will um, drink the pus coming from the wound of the people. So when they are burned, they have the wound, and the wound have pus, and the pus. This is, of course, we all of us know the pus, how it's very bad odor, and you cannot imagine even to smell or to see it. But for the people of the hellfire, they will drink it. They will, and this is غساق, came in Surat An-Naba, غساق. All this happening at the same time with shakal that we mentioned about and kalan. So all this type of threat and a very difficult picture that Allah Ta'ala is giving for those disbelievers, what will happen to them in the hellfire. And then the ayah 14 will go for the day of judgment. What will happen during the day of judgment, where the earth and the mountains will be changed completely. The earth will be shaking, the earth shaking. And we took that in Surat Al-Zalzala, the earthquaking of the earth at that time. It will have an earthquake, and this earthquake is different from what's happening now. Now we can say uh, if we have earthquake with 7 Richter, for example, or 8 Richter, this is the measurement of the earthquakes, it will cause complete damage of more than thousands of buildings and thousands of people dying with just more than 7.5 Richter or 7 Richter. But now you are talking about the earthquake during the day of judgment, which is 100 times more powerful than these earthquakes that we are seeing now. So it's something actually giving you the feeling of the horror, and the great changes will happen during that day. The earth will be shaking, and the mountains also will be shaking, and the mountains will be changed to something which is very weak and like a heap of sand. All these strong mountains that we are seeing every day will be changed into a heap of sand poured out. They will become like hills of sand after they had been firm rocks. They will be changed, and then they will be utterly destroyed, and nothing will remain of them. This will occur until the entire earth becomes a flat land and no curvature will be seen in it. In other ayat, there will be no valleys, no hills, and this means that no part of it be low or elevated. And then after all that, what will happen? The earth and the sky will be changed for the gathering day, for the gathering of all the creations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning that in Surah Ibrahim, يَوْمَ تُبَدَّلُ الْأَرْضُ غَيْرَ الْأَرْضِ وَالسَّمَاوَاتِ. At that day, this earth that we are living on it will be changed by another earth, and the sky will be changed by another sky. And this is for the day of gathering people on this earth, new earth. It will be a new earth. After this one we are living on completely destroyed, it will be another earth that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will gather the people in it. So we'll stop here inshallah and we'll continue next week. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.